Thank you, Nudara. And Carol Agengo, the floor is now yours.
Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Kenya, Dr. William Samoei Ruto, Your Excellency, the Secretary General of the United Nations, António Guterres, members of the government of Kenya and the various governments represented here, members of UN agencies, members of the civil society, ladies and gentlemen, my fellow activists. As we come to the close of the 2024 UN Civil Society Conference in support of the Summit of the Future, I am highly optimistic. I am optimistic for many reasons, and I'll tell you in a bit. When Nudara and I were appointed to this role just under 3 months ago, we set out to ensure that the 2024 UN Civil Society Conference in support of the Summit of the Future would be inclusive, impactful, and innovative. We were deeply conscious that the conference would not even begin to scratch the surface of the broad diversity that defines civil society around the world, because this is a global conference. We have reflected these three ideals in the preparations, in the registrations, and the delivery of this conference. We have, over the 2 days, reiterated our expectation of an ambitious and accountable pact for the future, one that truly reflects the needs and aspirations of the people around the world, and where the role of civil society is recognized and upheld. Our appointment remains a reflection of intergenerational solidarity, and you can see that right here. It is also a testament of the immense possibilities that sit in the global South. As a proud Kenyan woman representing Africa as part of the global South, I want to say, again, like I said at the beginning of this conference, that we are standing on what the French call the berceau of riches, where we have resilience, we have wealth, we have the youth, we have the future right in front of us. And from the time we started this conversation yesterday, we have engaged in robust discussions, not always agreeing on issues, and indeed we are wont to. We have forged new partnerships and laid the basis for increased engagement towards a more inclusive, sustainable, and safe future for all. But I want to pivot a little and quote this, quote, "In our thousands, in our millions, we are all Palestinians." This was the message that reverberated across this room in the afternoon, catching Nudara and I by surprise, and catching everybody by surprise. But it all resonated with us, and we agreed as we stood in solidarity with our fellow brethren who came and stood here, that the situation in Palestine calls for immediate action. It calls for an immediate ceasefire. And indeed, we are all Palestinians. No, that is not. We finished the picketing. The great diversity of civil society actors and interests around the globe makes it impossible to build consensus over 2 days of this conference and across the depth of issues. There is, however, great opportunity in the post-conference period for civil society to further develop the ideas emerging from this conference in the lead-up to the Summit of the Future in September. As part of the conference, in the official pre-conference, Your Excellency, Kenyan civil society held a mobilization day that Mithika alluded to, and we discussed the Pact for the Future, the Declaration on Future Generations, and the Global Digital Compact. We also discussed the Public Benefits Organizations Act and came up with clear recommendations that we will share from this meeting to the respective government agencies. As Kenyan civil society, it is our desire to see the Public Benefits Organizations Act come into full force so that we can strengthen the way that we engage as civil society. As we look to the future, our work is far from over. We must remain committed to raising the ambition and accountability of the Pact for the Future, informing its negotiations with inclusive perspectives, and ensuring that the commitments made by governments are followed through. In typical CSO fashion, we cannot move away from picketing. We must, however, also use our picketing power to strengthen our collaboration and constructively engage as we picket. For picketing's sake is not meaningful picketing. I'll repeat, picketing for picketing's sake is not meaningful picketing. Our North Star remains the future, where no one is left behind, and where the principles of human rights and justice reign supreme to guide our collective journey towards sustainable development. A future where we nurture the collaborative power of civil society, but also engage from a multi-stakeholder perspective to address issues that are intersectional in an inclusive way. Your Excellency, as I close, I extend on behalf of the civil societies here present, the Planning Committee and the Host Committee, our most sincere gratitude to yourself, Mr. President. We know how busy you are, but you took time to come and be with us. We appreciate that. We also appreciate our gratitude to the Secretary General, Your Excellency António Guterres, for flying many miles to come and be with us. We appreciate you and the importance that you put on civil society. I want to say thank you to the UN agencies that have worked with us and to recognize our co-chair who is seated across from us today, Mr. Maher Nassar from the Department of Global Communications. Thank you. And to appreciate UNON and all the people within this compound, starting with who I learned yesterday is the landlady, the USG Director General of UNON, Hawa Bangura. Thank you very much. I'd like to appreciate the resident coordinator, Mr. Stephen Jackson, who's become our partner in crime in many ways. Thank you. But as I close, I want to reserve a very, very special thank you to a group of people. I won't name them all. I will name two because of who they represent. Felipe Kepo, I hope I have said your name properly. He's Mr. Fix-It. He has fixed all the problems that have got us, all the problems so that we can get here and be here today. I also want to thank, last but not least, Sandra Macharia. Please stand up. She has facilitated our being here today. She has opened every door that could be opened. She has held our hand, she has critiqued us, supported us, and we're here because of the team that she leads who have been with us along the way. as I move away from the UN, and to thank the government officials who have also facilitated being part of the host committee. Thank you to the PS, who was a civil society activist in his days, Dr. Singoy Korir. He comes from civil society, we own him. And we also want to thank Dr. Jackie Yonga, who has been part of the host committee and has availed to us people who have made this possible. And finally, to the civil society actors who are here. Your Excellency, you'll allow me to share a little secret. When he sat down, he asked me, all these are civil society. No wonder we're in trouble. Let us keep the trouble up and let us keep doing what we do. Thank you all very much.
Thank you very much, Carol. And now